Just bear with me a second. Oh, Facebook is giving me difficulties this morning. There we go. Hello everyone. It's Shel Anderson from Stamp with Shel. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Today we are going to be having a play with the Garden Birdhouses stamp set from the annual catalog. Haven't played with this one in a while, so I thought we'd give it some love. And I've paired that with the Go-To Greeting stamp set, which is also in the annual catalog. And the dies I'm using today are the Layering Circles dies and the Stylish Shapes dies. All right, let's get these over here out of the way. Our ink colors today are Fresh Freesia, Evening Evergreen, and Memento Black. And my DSP that I chose today is the Bright and Beautiful Butterfly Kisses. All right, so I did not score my card base because it is a fun fold. I wanted you guys to be able to score it with me. I will have a printable tutorial on my blog when this video goes live, so you will have the measurements, but I will go through this with you right now. So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer if I don't tear it down here. And we are going to score this. Make sure I'm in camera. All right, so this is just a standard card base, 8.5 by 5.5. And we're going to score this at 4 1/4. Oh, make sure I get my cutting blade out of the way. 4 1/4, that's just half, and then 6.5. I'm going to slide that over to the 6.5. That is it, my friends. That is as difficult as this card gets. We are going to grab our bone folder and burnish that center fold, and then this one is going to fold in. So this is what you have for a card base. All right, now we have a matte layer. I've chosen one of the colors out of the DSP. This is Calypso Coral. This is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And my DSP is 5 1/4 by 4, just so I have a nice little border on here. And we're going to get some adhesive on there and pop this in place. Something like that. All right, now we're going to bring our card base back in. And we're going to lay this flat. And we're going to put adhesive on here, but not to the edges. Okay? We're only going to do adhesive. And it's nice that I have a nice dark color so you can see that I'm away from my bottom and side edges. Then we're going to take this panel, we're going to match up our borders, center this up, and press it in place. Okay? And then when we open it up, it folds like this. I know it's hard to see on camera, but this is going to form our easel. All right. For the inside, I have a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 2 3/4, and I had a little leftover strip of DSP, so I'm just going to guesstimate here, put some glue on the back, And I'm going to attach this just to dress up the inside a little bit. Like Michael, I'm taping a video. Okay, so sorry about that, folks. Now we will attach this to the inside of our card so that we have a nice place to write the greeting. Once again, just centering the borders on all three sides, top and both sides. All right, now I have a strip of DSP, 1 inch by 5 1/4, and you guessed it, that's going to pop right in there. And if you notice the 2 DSPs, this is just this one cut in a different direction. Cool, eh? Coordinates, but it's different. All right, I'm going to set that aside. Now we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. I have a piece of scrap here that I stamped the word hello on. It's a pretty generic greeting. And we are actually, I'm going to rip that in half. We don't need all that. We're going to pop this guy in place where we want it. And I'm actually going to use that piece of masking tape. Hold it straight while I crank this through. All right, so we have our greeting, and now I have a piece of navy, which is another color in that DSP, and I'm going to cut a stitch circle as well as a mat for my banner. All right. There's our stitch circle and our banner mat. And our greeting. So we can take some Tombow and we can pop this right on there. All right. Now we can continue. Bring in our card base, get some dimensionals, and I have my minis handy, so we'll use them. And we're just going to, actually I think I might use the strip. It's always good to use every little bit of our dimensional. Bit too much this time. There we go. And this is the mechanism that is going to hold our card upright to display. So we're just going to center this up. I'm going to line it up with the top of the DSP. And it's not very centered, but I think we're committed now. There we go, not too bad. Let's see if I can move it. Let's see if I can move it. Maybe not. Nope, we're pretty much committed. So don't do as I did, do as I say. There we go. All right, still going to work. It's still going to be the mechanism that holds the card open. So this is how your card will look from the side and from the front, and it sits on the tabletop like so. All right, now we have to work on our focal image. And if you stick around to the end of the video, I have another card to show you. Same stamp set, but it's a little bit different. If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm going to use the back side of this die because there's a little smudge I noticed on there, and there was just a little edge. So I just flattened that edge out so nobody will be any the wiser. And I am going to grab, if I can find it, a blending brush. I'm going to get most of that dark color out of there. And all you do for that is just, actually here's another one that's got lighter purple in it. Yes, that's got nothing left in it. We'll use this one. I thought I would just give this a little wash of color with some fresh freesia. Just remember to start off your image, and you can add as much or as little as you want. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. All right, close that ink up. And now we're going to do some stamping. Let me get these away in my jar of brushes here. And next we need to do some stamping. All right, I'm going to use Evening Evergreen ink, and we are going to load the ink onto this stamp. And now we're going to do a technique where we are going to grab, maybe if I can find it, there it is, grab a blender pen and simply remove or lighten. You never remove it all. We'd be here all day. But I'm trying to remove as much of the green on the branch as I can. Bring your blender pen after. Now we're going to grab a Stampin' Blend marker, and we're going to color with the marker in brown. This is early espresso, where we removed the green. Then we're going to huff on it. And stamp that across the top like so. So we have a branch at the top like so. Next off, we have our birdhouse. And I am going to stamp this in Memento Black. Make sure you get it well loaded. And I'm going to stamp that somewhere towards the bottom. Sorry that my head's in the camera. We're having a Sunday morning craft session here, crafting in our jammies. Oops, I'm not done with that. So I probably have scary hair and all that good stuff, but that's okay. That's what Sunday mornings are for, is remove that. The beauty of this, here's a tip for you. this is the wire or the hook that hooks this birdhouse to the branch, but you only can ink part of it if that's all the length you need. And that's what I'm going to do, is I'm only going to ink part of it because I don't need all that length. And then you just get to see that through the leaves on the trees. Oops, I'm still not done. I don't know why I want to close that so badly. Now you see I got a little smudge over here. That doesn't make me happy. Now, I've got a little bird here. I am going to stand this bird on the edge of the roof because we need to be able to see that bird and color it. Okay, and then on the other end, I have another bird in the other direction, and we're just going to put her toes right on the edge of that birdhouse. And because of that smudge, I think I'm going to do another branch. I don't like that smudge. And I don't think my sand eraser will take that big of a smudge off. Let me try it. It's minimized it a lot, but it's also taken the color off. So I need to put the color back on. There we go. All right, crisis averted. Crisis is averted. Now, time to color our image. I am going to grab, I haven't grabbed my colors yet, all of them. I'm going to grab Fresh Freesia Dark, and I'm going to do the bellies of the birds in Fresh Freesia. And I'm going dark because we already have some Fresh Freesia in the background, so I want them to shine. Now, this is Crumb Cake Dark. I'm going to do the birdhouse in Crumb Cake Dark. And I am just laying the color on here, just covering up that hint of Fresh Freesia. All right, maybe we'll do there. Now we're going to go to light crumb cake for the birds. And you'll notice that they're still going to have a hint of that Fresh Freesia, which is okay. I'm okay with that. Now I want light soft suede, and we're going to do our birdhouse roof. Like so, and maybe this perch and the trim. Oh yes, that's nice. All right, now you'll notice that our branches look a little funny. It's because our leaves are see-through. I'm going to grab a light soft succulent, and I'm just going to color in our leaves. Nothing fancy, just making them so they're not see-through. And let's face it, we need to cover up that Fresh Freesia from the sky. What do you think about the brown branch? Turned out pretty cool, eh? All we need to do that is a Stampin' Blend marker and a blender pen. quite an easy thing to do. You just watch me do it in about 2 seconds. All right, now our leaves have some color. What do you think? Now I'm going to pop this onto this stitch circle, and it's going to pop even more. There we go. Now we need some dimensionals. Here's some. Bring our card back in. Let's have a look here. I'm going to put this one way up at the top. And I think we're going to put a bow on here, just to jazz it up a bit. Put this right up to the top of our card. Actually, I'm going to put it up to the top and off this way, because that way this doesn't seem so off center. We're going to put a bow on there. I need to find some navy or some calypso ribbon. Let me see what I can find. Maybe. What do I have? I don't have anything current, so we're going into retired. How about some seam binding ribbon? That'll work. Okay. We're going to create, let's do a loopy bow. That might be pretty on here. Let's see if I can do a loopy bow this morning. Don't promise anything, but we'll see what I can do. Three loops. And then we'll cut a nice long tail. Tied it wrong. Sorry about that. To back that up. This should be going this way. And the way that you know that is your bow won't tighten unless you've got it the right way. Alright, let's see what we have done. So I've done something wrong. Oh, the joys of live video. Let's try it again. Loop 1, loop 2, loop 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right. You just got to hang on to that centerpiece and don't let go. Hopefully I've done it right this time. There, it tightened. Hopefully it's straight. Hopefully it's straight. That's way too big. All right, we're going to our bow maker, folks. I'm not going to watch you suffer, let you watch me suffer anymore because I've messed that up royally. Like I said in previous videos, some days I can make them, some days not so much. Today is obviously a not so much day. All right, we'll just cut this off and see what this is going to look like. Let's lay this card down flat. I'm just going to pop that right on there with some glue dots. And I have my paper pumpkin glue dots and a paper piercer. And we will get this bow in place. All right, I want it somewhere about there. And we'll press that in place. And now we're going to do something with these crazy tails. Pop that in place. There. That looks pretty good. Now we'll tune these tails. And that looks much more centered, not as crooked. And oh look, I have some little sparklies just sitting here waiting for somebody to pay attention to them. So we're going to use them. We'll put 2 there. Normally, when I do this, I like to use, I like to use 3 or 5. And I have 4. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to go against my own rule and use it. So there's our card. There's how it stands up. Side view. And pops in place like so. Now I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. And I'm going to bring in another one that I did to show you. This one is using the same stamp set, different paper, different color, and I made it into a Christmas card. This one I wrapped a piece of ribbon around the DSP before I put it on, and then I put a bow here. I used Orchid Oasis ink in the background of this, and I tried to create some sun rays. These guys have the cherry cobbler on their chest, and I used little gold gilded gems on this one. This paper is, if I can find the name of it, maybe. It is called Tidings of Christmas. And I also used the Framed and Festive for my greeting on the inside. And this little greeting, this little Mary, comes from the Christmas to Remember bundle. So that is how you take a perfectly non-Christmas Christmas card and you can come up with a Christmas card super easy. All you need is Christmas greetings and a little bit of imagination. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial today, and I hope you got a few giggles at my mess-ups. That's okay. We all do them. And I hope you come back and see me again. I'm here Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Central Standard Time, and I'm here Wednesday nights at 6:30 for lives. See you soon. Bye-bye.